In this video, I'm gonna show you everything you want to know about the Ulefone Note 18 Ultra. Now, the name might scream Ultra features, but let's be real, we're dealing with a budget phone here, so the big question is, can a sub $150 phone with 5G actually deliver in 2024? Buckle up, because this is gonna be an interesting ride, and hit that subscribe button. First stop, unboxing. Basic cardboard situation, but hey, it gets the job done. Inside we got the usual suspects: manuals, warranty info and screen protector. Saves you a trip to the store. There's even a free clear case. Not the most stylish, but hey, free protection is always a good thing. The main attraction, of course, is the phone itself. This thing is sleek, surprisingly thin and definitely channeling some serious iPhone energy. As for the charger, it's a basic 18 watts fast charger. No fancy extras, no crazy things, but with the phone this good looking, who needs them? We also get a red USB cable, kind of like OnePlus thing. That's all you really need to get started. For a budget phone, it's not bad. Visible iPhoneification here. The back definitely borrows some design cues from the iPhone. Plus, the texture back, they call it 3D petal, is kinda cool. A glossy white version with that texture would have been killer, but that's just my 2 cents. Speaking of colors, this one comes in titanium grey and moonlight white, and I grabbed black, but honestly, white would have been fire. At 8.85mm thin, this phone won't bulge in your pocket, but it's not the lightest at the 212 grams. Not a deal breaker, but something to consider if you're rocking a skinny jeans. Buttons are all where you expect them, classic layout, comfy in hand. On the right, the power button doubles as a fingerprint reader, big plus. Up top, we've got a headphone jack and an infrared blaster. Volume rockers and a customizable button sit on the left side, while the bottom houses a USB-C port for charging, along with a single speaker, microphone and a SIM card slot. Now, the phone doesn't have an official IP rating, but they claim it has a water resistance similar to IP54. Not exactly dunk proof, but it should handle light splashes. The display, it's well, good. Not gonna win any awards, but it gets the job done. We're rocking a 90Hz AMOLED panel, so colors are vibrant and scrolling feels smooth, a big plus for gamers and YouTube addicts. Resolution is a crisp Full HD+, brightness is decent around 500 nits, and wait for it, the phone can actually play 4K YouTube videos. Downscale of course, but hey, you can zoom in a bit and still get good quality. Kinda cool for a budget phone. Now, the not so great news, sound. Turns out there's only one measly mono speaker at the bottom, so forget fancy stereo or Dolby Atmos. Unless you use headphones, that is. This is a bit of a letdown for Netflix, YouTube or games, but hey, for calls, browsing and social media, it will work just fine. What do you guys think? Mono speaker a deal breaker, or are you cool with it? Let me know in the comments. We got a 50 megapixels main sensor, which is pretty standard these days for Android phones in this price range. Plus, there's a surprise, a 50 megapixels wide angle lens, unusual for a budget phone. Here's a shot on the main camera. Details are alright, colors are decent, nothing mind-blowing but not bad either. How does it stack up against the iPhone 15 Pro or Google Pixel 8? Honestly, not too shabby for a budget phone. You be the judge. Now, the surprise of the bunch, the 50 megapixels wide-angle lens. Budget phones usually skimp on the wide lens, but this one, pretty good. It's not quite as sharp as the main lens, but hey, it lets you capture more in the shot. Again, let's compare it to the big boys, iPhone 15 Pro and Google Pixel 8. So, for a budget phone, these photos look pretty good. Here's the weird part though, there's no quick and easy way to switch between the main and the wide lens like in iPhone or Pixel, or even in the new Xiaomi Poco F6. You gotta go digging in the camera app to activate it. Not a huge deal, but unexpected. Hopefully a software update can fix this. Come on Ulefone, make it user friendly. The main lens offers digital zoom up to 10 times. While usable, keep in mind that the image quality will deteriorate after around 4 times zoom. Details will get softer and things might get blurry. It's best to stick to 4 times zoom or less for the sharpest results. The wide-angle lens also offers digital zoom up to 10 times, but honestly, zooming on a wide lens isn't the best idea. If you need to zoom in, it's better to switch to the main lens and zoom from there. Finally, the selfie camera is cool 32 megapixels, which is pretty sweet for this price range. The Ultra boasts 4K recording, which sounds fancy on paper, but here's the catch. Turn on image stabilization and the frame rate drops from a smooth 30 FPS to a choppy 20 FPS. That means your videos will look like they're flickering, not ideal. This is likely because the processor just can't handle the extra workload of stabilization at higher resolutions. For reference, iPhones and Pixels manage 4K with stabilization without a sweat. Now, there's a silver lining. If you're okay dropping down to 1080 pixels resolution, which is full HD, the footage quality improves significantly. You get back to smooth 30 FPS, and while the stabilization isn't top notch, at least your footage is watchable. Out of the box, we're rocking Android 13 with a few little tweaks from Ulefone. Now, before you scoff, Android 13? Really? We are already on 14, but here's the good news. Ulefone promises an update to Android 14, but the rollout time is unclear. Ulefone also promises 4 years of OS updates and security patches. Under the hood, the MediaTek Dimensity 720 chip handles daily tasks pretty smoothly. It's not a powerhouse, obviously, but it's sufficient for regular use. The phone comes with 6 gigs of RAM, which is expandable virtually to 12 GB. But be aware that this borrows storage space and might slow things down a bit. Storage is a generous 256 gigs, expandable further with micro SD card with extra up to 1 TB. Alright, benchmark time. The Ultra scores 374,000 points on Antutu, placing it in the upper low range territory. Here's how it stacks up against the competition. I know it's not mind-blowing, but we need to remember that benchmarks are for reference. Real-world testing is crucial, so I threw some popular games like Asphalt 9 Legends, Call of Duty Mobile and PUBG Mobile at it. Asphalt runs smooth like a butter on medium settings, no weird lags to speak of, and it felt decent even with the default 30 FPS frame rate. Graphics held up well, and the gameplay was pretty responsive. Call of Duty Mobile, similar story here, it runs smoothly on medium settings, no lags to complain about. Frame rate hit 60 FPS, but it dipped a bit during intense firefights. Not a deal breaker though, still fast paced and exciting.
Targets in sight.
PUBG Mobile. You'll need minimum graphics for smooth gameplay, but there were no real lags or frame drops. It ran at 30 FPS, which is still playable for most. So, a little verdict? Look, hardcore gamers, this is not for you, but for casual gamers, the Ultra is a solid choice. Popular games run well, though you might need to adjust settings for the more demanding titles. But for games like Candy Crush or Subway Surfers, this phone is more than enough, you won't be disappointed. Moving on to connectivity, we've got Wi-Fi 5 here. It's not the absolute latest, no Wi-Fi 6 or 6E here, but they even threw in 5G for good measure, which is a nice touch in a budget phone. Plus, we've got NFC for contactless payments, which is becoming a must-have these days. You also get all the usual suspects, Bluetooth for your headphones or smartwatch and GPS. Oh, and speaking of staying connected, call quality on this phone is surprisingly good. Calls are loud, clear, and throughout my 2 weeks of testing, it's never dropped a single call. The phone packs a 5450 mAh battery, which is great for a budget phone. This should easily get you 2 to 3 days on a single charge. It supports 18 watts fast charging, which isn't the fastest, but it will get you back in the game in about an hour. No wireless charging here, but hey, at this price point, some compromises are expected. Okay, let's wrap it up. The Ultra positions itself as a budget phone with some key features. For the price around $140 US, you get 5G, a big screen for videos and a bigger than average battery. Cameras are okay for everyday snaps. Casual gamers will be happy with lower settings performance. But keep in mind, it's a single speaker setup, so no stereo sound. But calls are clear and social media, browsing, etc. run smoothly. Plus, that customizable button on the side is a neat way to launch your favorite app. So, who is this for? I'd say budget-minded users who prioritize a good-looking phone with basic functionality and a big screen for videos will find a lot to like here. The 5G adds a touch of future-proofing too, so the overall verdict 7 out of 10. The phone delivers the essentials at a nice price, making it a solid option for everyday users who don't need top-tier specs. And a quick disclaimer, Ulefone sent this phone for review, however all the tests and opinions are mine, honest and unbiased. We don't get paid to say anything good or bad. The only thing that keeps this channel going, you hitting that play button. So if you enjoyed the review, smash like and subscribe for more tech content. Thanks for watching, catch you guys on the next one.